Let's dive right into this. Have you ever felt a little knot of anxiety when speaking English? You know, overthinking exactly where an S is supposed to go, or second-guessing your verb choices mid-sentence. Trust me, you are definitely not alone. But today, we're taking that grammar anxiety and turning it into lasting confidence. We're going to completely master the simple present tense, going straight from the rules to real-life conversation so you can just speak without overthinking it.
The secret here is that English grammar isn't about memorizing random, disconnected rules. It's actually just a series of highly reliable patterns, and we are going to conquer this topic step by step, with a really clear roadmap, starting with simple present tense basics, then the S and ES rules, making negative sentences, asking yes or no questions, and finally, using WH question words. All right, let's lay down the very first layer of our grammar scaffolding with Section 1, Simple Present Tense Basics.
Basically, the core job of the simple present tense is to express daily habits, routines, facts, and regular actions. So, saying I wake up at 7 perfectly describes a morning routine, right? Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how we use it for universal facts. Take the phrase, the sun rises in the east. We use the simple present here because it's a universal truth. It is just always true. It's literally the tense we use to frame our everyday reality.
And to make this even easier, there are these highly common signal words that act kind of like cheat codes. Words like every day, always, usually, sometimes, never, and often. When you hear native English speakers casually dropping these into conversation, like, I usually walk to school, or my father always drinks tea, they are instantly signaling to you, without a doubt, that it's time to use the simple present tense structure.
Okay, this right here, this is literally the master key to unlocking the whole tense. We've basically got two very distinct subject groups. First, you have I, you, we, they. These pair directly with the simple, clean base verb. No extra letters, just verbs like play or study. But then we have he, she, it. This group demands a little extra. You have to add an S or an ES to the verb. So we say I play cricket, but we say he plays cricket. Keeping these two subject groups separated in your head is absolutely crucial.
So now that we know the he, she, it group needs that extra S or ES, let's transition into Section 2. The S and ES rules.
I know, figuring out when to add just an S versus an ES understandably confuses a lot of learners, but it's actually super predictable. You add ES for verbs ending in certain letters. If it ends in O, go becomes goes. For sh, wash becomes washes. Ch makes watch into watches, and S or double S turns pass into passes, and X turns fix to fixes. Notice how adding that ES just makes the word physically easier to pronounce? It's really just a natural phonetic pattern. Then we have the special rule for verbs ending in a Y, and this brilliantly illustrates how systematic English spelling can be. Look at the letter right before the Y. If it's a consonant like the D in study, you completely drop the Y and add IES, so studies. But if there's a vowel right before that Y, like the A in play, you just keep it simple. Just add an S, so plays. It all hinges entirely on that one single letter right before the Y.
Great!
We've nailed the positive statements. Let's move to section 3, making negative sentences. This is how we confidently say no or not.
Notice something familiar here? You definitely should, because the exact same subject grouping we learned earlier applies perfectly to choosing between don't and doesn't. For I, you, we, they, we use do not, or its everyday short form, don't. For he, she, it, we use does not or doesn't. So naturally you'd say I don't drink coffee, but you'd say she doesn't like spicy food. The underlying pattern is exactly the same. Now watch out, because this is a trap that catches so many beginners. So the crucial point is this: whenever you use the word does or doesn't in a sentence, your main verb has to strip away its S and go back to its base form. That is why saying he doesn't plays football is totally wrong. The S concept is already doing its job hiding inside the word doesn't. The grammatically correct way is simply, he doesn't play football. Moving right along, let's add the fourth layer of complexity in section 4, asking yes or no questions. Let's verbally trace how a statement transforms into a question. Take the positive statement, he drives a car. Because the subject is he, the helping verb does jumps right to the front of the sentence. And just like we saw with the negatives, once does shows up, the main verb reverts to its base form. So drives sheds that S and goes back to drive, leaving us with the perfect question: does he drive a car? The cool thing is, you don't actually need to repeat the whole sentence back when someone asks you one of these. Native speakers use these fast, natural, short answers all the time in daily conversation. If someone asks, "Do you speak English?" you simply reply, "Yes, I do," or "No, I don't." If it's about someone else, like, "Does your brother play football?" the natural answer is, "Yes, he does," or "No, he doesn't." Super simple. All right, we've reached the final step in our grammar journey today. Section 5, using WH question words. We're introducing open-ended questions now, but don't worry, you are fully prepared for this. Let's move to and see how this builds into a foolproof, almost math-like formula for open-ended questions. It's just 4 logical steps. Step 1, place your WH word first. Step 2, add do or does depending on your subject. Step 3, insert the subject itself. And step 4, finish with your base verb. That's it. If you just plug your words into this exact sequence, you are going to build a grammatically flawless question every single time. Let's see that exact formula rapidly applied to some real-life conversational examples from our source text. For general info, we use what? What do you eat? For locations, where? Where does she study? Look at how perfectly does she study fits the formula. Time, when does the train arrive? Reason, why do you study English? People, who do you call? And for a method or process, how do you go to college? Every single one of these common phrases perfectly follows that 4-step structure we just unlocked. You have officially navigated all the core structures of the simple present tense. As our source material wisely reminds us, confidence and practice are the keys to fluent English. We've mapped out the patterns today so you no longer have to guess. Letting go of that grammar fear and just leaning into these reliable rules, that is exactly where real, lasting language learning takes place. So, I want to leave you with this final thought and a quick challenge to instantly apply what you've learned. What is one daily habit you do every morning? And what is one fact about yourself? Take a second right now
Try building those sentences in your head, or hey, say them out loud using the S and ES rules we just covered. Embrace the practice, trust the patterns, and I will catch you in the next explainer.